Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Classroom 2.0 live session today, and we're so glad that you joined us after a brief hiatus today. I'm Kim Case, and I'm pleased to co-host today with Peggy George. We're going to be talking today about using Glogster EDU to organize and present content, and we're so glad that you have joined us. We had a brief break due to NEC and the July 4th holiday. And we have our special guest with Jim Dachos, who is with Glogster.com. Each week at the same time, we gather to discuss the technology tools and issues facing educators today. Our broadcast consists of a 1-hour session that is recorded. The link to the full video, audio recording, and chat log will be posted to our Classroom 2.0 live site at live.classroom20.com. The topic each week is posted on the Classroom 2.0 live site so that you can be prepared to bring links, ideas, and tools that you'd like to share. And we post a newbie question of the week that's pre-announced so you can bring possible answers and solutions for those who are unsure of that tool. At the end of the show, we hope that you might share some ideas and some things that came to you during the show. Before we begin, I'd like to share some of the features that we're going to be using today in Illuminate. We'll be asking some polling questions, and my whiteboard screen today is using the old format in Illuminate. As you can tell, we're using a new version of Illuminate, and it's a bit different. The polling response, the check and the X are now by the blue door that are by the emoticons. You will still ring in and cast your vote using the green check and the red X, but those are now by the emoticons. If you want to speak during that part of the session, you'll still raise your hand, and the hand has a little green arrow on it. And next to that hand with the green arrow below the participant window are two emoticons, the applause symbol and the thumbs down symbol. And then on the right is that blue door, and you'll click that blue door to indicate that you have stepped away. And right to the left of that blue door is the green check and the red X for casting your vote in the polling, for the poll questions. And below those symbols is the mic button. When it's that time of the session, you'll click the mic button to begin speaking. And then when you're finished, you'll click the mic button to deactivate your microphone. And make sure it's just like a walkie-talkie, and make sure that you click your mic button to deactivate your session since we have a limited number of speakers. If you want to send a message to the entire room, you'll type your message and then click the send button and make sure the words "this room" is visible in the chat in the drop-down arrow. If you want to send a message to the moderators or to a specific person, you use the drop-down arrow to make your selection. Moderators are able to see all private messages throughout the session, so keep that in mind when sending messages. If you're not able to see all of the chat messages, or you want to resize some of your windows, you're able to do that. You will click View in your menu at the top of the screen. The layouts are sometimes locked by default, so you may need to click on the Layout Locked feature and uncheck that, and then you can click one of the layouts that are in the Illuminate session, or you can resize them to fit your preferences or your screen. And we are offering closed caption sessions features in our session today, provided by Tammy. And if you're interested in that, there is a blue CC up in our menu bar. All you need to do is click on that, and then you'll be able to see the closed caption text that is available in the session today as well as in the recording. So please let your friends know and colleagues know that if they are hearing impaired, they can participate in our sessions, in the live sessions, as well as in view the recordings and participate that way. So please let them know that our sessions are available to them, and they are welcome to join us and attend. Today we're going to be using the Whiteboard Tool, and we're going to be using the laser pointer. Sorry, my dog is helping me along today. And the laser pointer that we're going to be using today is the blue wand with the red sunburst. And if everybody could click on that laser pointer, and then click on your location on the world map. Sometimes you need to drag your little sunburst over to the right a little bit as it kind of lands to the left. I'm seeing some locations in Australia, lots of North America places, and some in Canada. And we're so glad that you have joined us today. And normally Lorna Costantini is with us, and she is in Canada. She had a prior commitment and couldn't be with us, and we miss her. And she'll be back with us shortly. Her daughter is getting married in the next coming week, so there's lots of things she's taking care of. And we're so glad that you've joined us today, wherever you are in the world, at night, evening, afternoon. And we thank you for spending your Saturday or Sunday with us. And now we're going to go on to the polling questions. And you're going to use the green check and the red X, which are by the blue door now. And the first polling question is, have you ever used Glogster to create posters, images, or interactive web pages? If you have, please click the green check next to the blue door, or the red X if you have not. If you have ever used Glogster to create posters, images, or interactive web pages. And we used to use Glogster, and we still do quite often, on our live site just about every week to create the images for our web page. So I'll give you a few more seconds to cast your vote with either a green check that you have used Glogster and a red X if you have not. Okay, and it looks like the results are that 33% have not, and 54% of the group have used Glogster today. And so those who have not used Glogster, you're in for a real treat. Okay, let's go on to the second question. Let me erase those. Okay, second question is, are you learning about Glogster EDU, the educational version, for the first time today? If you are, click the green check. And if you are not, click the red X. Okay, and I'll give you just a few more seconds to cast your vote. And it looks like 54% are learning for the first time today about Glogster EDU, and 54% are not, and 35% are learning for the first time today about Glogster EDU. And let's go on to the third question is, have your students of any age, whether they are elementary, middle, high school, college, whichever, your students created something using Glogster or Glogster EDU? If they have, yes, I know, we're having our foundation repaired, and so I'm babysitting the dogs. So if your students have used Glogster or Glogster EDU, please click the green check, and if they have not, click the red X. Okay, let me get the results. Looks like 65% of the group have not used Glogster or Glogster EDU with students, and 24% have used Glogster with students. So hopefully that after today's session and you find out the features, that will change, and Jim's going to explain that to us. And now the newbie question, and I'm going to pass the mic over to Peggy and introduce Jim.
Good morning, everyone. Are you hearing me okay? If anyone can... Oh,
sure,
good.
Peggy.
That's great. We are really excited today to be able to learn all about Glogster EDU from Jim Dachos, who is the education manager for Glogster EDU. Jim has been involved with education for a long time, most of his career, and he previously taught 7th and 8th grade social studies in Maine, and he's also spent a lot of time in assessment development working with content experts and higher ed faculty. When we started using Glogster to prepare images and posters for our weekly shows, and we saw how many of our colleagues were using these interactive pages on websites, blogs, and wikis, we knew we had to have a show to show this exciting resource with all of you. So huge welcome to Jim. Please feel free to add to this introduction and tell us more about your background and how you came to be a part of Glogster EDU, and we're so glad you're here to explain this fantastic tool and give us some examples that were created both by teachers and students. So welcome, Jim, and I'm going to turn the mic over to you.
Jim, we're not hearing you, so make sure that you click the mic button to go ahead and activate your...
Hello?
There you go.
All right. Everyone can hear me now?
Yes, we sure can.
Good. Good. Good morning and welcome to Glogster. My name is Jim Dachos, and everyone mispronounces my name. It's spelled like nachos, but it's like bodacious. But thanks so much for having me today. I am the education manager with Glogster, and I have nearly 20 years in the education realm as a former teacher in Maine and also as a senior director with National Evaluation Systems, which is now part of the big conglomerate that we know as Pearson Education. I'm very excited to share Glogster with you today, and I'm sure that you will discover, if you're not already using Glogster, that our platform is creative, engaging, powerful, and lots of fun. So I take it you'd like me to start answering the question, what is Glogster EDU and how can I use them in my classroom? So I will begin there. Question, can I have my slides come up? Should I do that myself or?
You can. The arrows are in the top left of the whiteboard to advance.
Okay, I see that. There we go. So what is Glogster and how can I use it in my teaching? As you will see over the next few minutes, there are a lot of different uses for Glogster. As Peggy mentioned, it's a multimedia blog, it's a mini website, it's a multi-sensory wiki, it's a lesson planner and administrator. It's a way for students and teachers to creatively express knowledge and skills in an interactive platform. I can best describe Glogster in terms of a traditional learning tool like a book. It has a fabulous creative cover with lots of excitement and content hidden behind it. Glogster is being used all over the world in a variety of ways. It makes learning and the process of learning more dynamic, more interactive, more in tune with students today, and more enjoyable. I'm going to spend some time and take you to a few glogs so that you can see glogs in action, see glogs that are being used in the classroom or created by students in the classroom. So I'm going to hopefully slip away here and I want to be sure I'm doing this correctly the first time. I want to go to a glog now. Can I do that easily from here?
Sure, you just click on the world at the top, the globe.
Okay.
And then enter the URL and click enter.
Can you see those? Okay, I'm having some technical issues, which I was worried about. Okay.
Jim, did you press enter after you entered the URL in the little box?
No, I'm about to do that. Hang on just a second.
You can also paste the link in the chat, and I can open the web tour for you, and you can continue.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, not a problem at all.
I'll go ahead and put this one in here. Okay, are you all still with me?
We sure are.
Okay, I'm sorry, the connection didn't go to exactly where I wanted it to, but we'll still work this out, I'm sure. So, as you can see, this is the Glogster side, not the Glogster EDU side, and I apologize for the technical difficulties. On the Glogster side, there are our blogs are certainly a lot more available to the public because on the school side they are private. So I'm going to click on the blog that I was showing earlier under the school category and let you all see that interactive blog that hopefully will come up here in a second. There we go. I'm hoping you're all able to see this blog. And as you can see, it has some music in the background. This particular blog has some Bob Marley music. As you can see, this blog has some interactive characteristics. If you click on the individual pictures, you're able to see those pictures in a larger, more zoomed setting. Each of these kids is indicating how they love Glogster and how they use it in the classroom. This was sent to us by an international teacher, and as you can see, each of our students created these little t-shirts indicating why they love Glogster and how they use Glogster in the classroom. In addition, on this particular blog, this teacher utilized the video component to show the activity to her parents and to the students. And if I were to click on this particular indicator here, it would play a video as well. Oops. All right, now I seem to have lost the session. Hello. Oh, there we go. You all still with me?
Yes. You can just start a new session, a new web tour.
Okay. I'll go to that in just a second. To understand Glogster and its potential for education today, it's critical that one first realizes the opportunity available to all of us in this global education environment. All right. Are you all with me? Are you seeing the screen that I have up there? Okay, sorry. You wouldn't be here today if you didn't see the need and embrace the potential to expand our educational horizons. What's important for all of you to know is that Glogster was conceived to creatively, productively, and collaboratively to respond to the educational landscape and the needs of educators and learners today. In order to meet the needs of today's tech-savvy students, opportunities for growth and achievement are available for those educators and schools that are willing to meet the challenge head-on. Change is easily possible with the right tools to complete the task. And Glogster EDU is the solution for these issues. As you can see, I know there's a lot of chatter earlier before we started about Glogster and Glogster EDU. Here is our new domain name for EDU Glogster. As you can see, our new domain is edu.glogster.com. Whereas our other social networking site is glogster.com. We have created this new website with the idea of creating a much easier access for teachers, for tech administrators, and etc., so that Glogster can be used, Glogster EDU can be used, and Glogster can be blocked if that's an issue with schools throughout the country. We're hoping that with this new domain name that we can focus on the utilization and the adaptation of technology to create and to facilitate real meaningful learning experiences within the classroom. There are abundant opportunities to share and explore these powerful Glogster creations in either the classroom, the school, or even wider settings. Glogster can impact those who interface with the glog. Bloggers have the ability to gain knowledge and skills and impart those attributes to those experiencing their Glogster creations. These statistics are all we need to know as educators to see how appropriate multimedia and interactive experiences are to students today. Kids are clearly using technology today to communicate, to socialize, and to express themselves. Here's another powerful and creative glog. This one is clearly dramatic and politically charged. And what you see here is the cover to an interactive and dynamic work hidden within our additional media and information. I'm going to again try to go to a slide share with you so that you can see the interactive nature of this particular glog. For some reason, I'm getting my links to go directly to the glog. I'm trying to find well, I'm going to back out of that and go back to the session. If I were to able to link to this glog, and I apologize for that, you'd be able to see some interactive video and some audio, and I'm going to move on to the next slide and then go to some slide share again at a different point. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. So what is Glogster? It seems like you get a different answer depending on who you talk to. What makes Glogster so attractive is its ease of use, its multisensory capabilities, its dynamic interactive platform. It also provides opportunities to express creativity, exhibit content knowledge, and have fun at the same time while keeping the textbooks on the shelf. Most users, including tech newbies like me, can easily learn the Glogster interface and create glogs in about 1/2 hour. Additionally, there are abundant ways to share creations and collaborate with others and educators and learners, which I will share with you a little later. For those who've used Glogster or other Web 2.0 tools, and I know this was an issue that was being texted about here earlier, and this is where it's paramount to all concerned that security is an issue. This is where Glogster and Education Glogster go their separate ways. Glogster is a free-flowing public and social environment rife with real-life issues and drama. Glogster EDU, on the other hand, is safe and monitored by teachers. Until a few weeks ago, it was very possible to cross over from Glogster to EDU through some creative loopholes. These loopholes have been closed while we recently launched our new domain name, edu.glogster.com. In addition, we're going to publish information on our websites as to how to block Glogster without blocking Glogster EDU. This is a critically important step for all of us who are dedicated to the educational community. Glogster is more than a platform. It is most recognized for its interactive capabilities. Because we are in a results-based accountability environment, It is essential that any of our technology have the ability to identify essential knowledge and skills and to promote acquiring of that knowledge and skills. The Glogster platform easily creates learning assessment opportunities for those that need it. Glogster is being used worldwide by all age levels, subject matters, demographics, and has been gaining a great deal of usage within the nonprofit and marketing sections as well. I'm going to hopefully try to link in again to some of my blogs that I had available for all of us to see today, and I'm going to attempt that again right now.
You can copy and paste the links, Jim.
Okay, and I do that where?
In the web tour when you open the world. Did you want me to copy and paste the last one, the Darfur one?
Yeah, if you could, that would be great.
Okay.
Okay, somehow I ended back in my slide again.
Is that not playing for everybody?
It's playing, but it's showing a slide rather than the...
Okay.
On my screen, it's showing the slide rather than the Darfur poster. Now I have it. Can everyone see this poster now? As you can see, this student who's 13 years old embedded some audio here up in the corner, which is a song obviously linked to the issue with the Darfur refugees. In addition, they have embedded some video, and you can see the video here connected by this link. And hopefully you'll be able to see the video. Can all of you see the video as well? So as you can see, this blog is very interactive. It has a lot of different dimensions to it. It's got text, it's got graphics, it's got video, it's got audio, and it has certainly a powerful way of expressing this student's concern about Darfur and the issues surrounding the Darfur refugees. So again, an example of a powerful blog that's created by students and showing what they know here in the classroom environment. I'm going to try to get to another student-created blog here. Anyone see this new blog coming up? All right, this particular blog is a blog indicating someone's knowledge of a particular author, and again, they've embedded text they've embedded audio, they've embedded video, they've embedded graphics. And I'll let this one play through and let you see the interactive nature of this particular glog. So there's some audio and certainly some picture-based representation of what this student has learned about this particular author in a presentation for a classroom assignment. Again, they've put some video in. Certainly about the author of Artemis Fowl. And this particular student was great in integrating this content into their blog. So you can see that this particular student was able to utilize the Glogster creation tools to indicate what they knew about this particular subject area, the author, and was able to represent it in both text-based content, in picture-based content, also in video and audio. And as you can see, with this particular tool here, if there isn't enough room to utilize all of your creation with regards to text, you have the ability to scroll down and add more text to the blog that isn't readily available and viewable initially, but you can use this tool here to add more text as you go along. The scrolling feature is particularly handy if you want to include a lot of text in the blog itself, and in this particular instance there was a lot of text involved. I'm going to show you another student-created blog here, again to indicate the power of Glogster and the tools available. So if you hang with me just a second, I will hopefully do that a little more easily than I had done here in the past. Here's an example of a blog that was utilized for an English final assignment. And as you can see with this particular blog, they are again using the interactive capabilities of Glogster to do a three-layered book report on Huckleberry Finn, Their Eyes Were Watching God, and The Great Gatsby. Here, this individual, if I were to click on this particular picture, it would take you to a link to some additional information about The Great Gatsby. And there are, again, these are indicated in the links that are provided at the ends. This individual had a lot of text to describe their particular book report assignments, and down below, again, with the ability to link to other information and other ancillary helpful text and video and audio-based references for this particular assignment for an English final assignment at the high school level. So you can see again the interactive capabilities of Glogster, the abilities to use text, to use graphics, to use pictures, and certainly to use audio and video components in an interactive blog environment. So I'm going to talk for a few minutes about teachers and how teachers can use Glogs in the classroom. The examples that I've shown you up to this point have indicated or given you certainly a reference to some of the uses by students in the classroom. But I'm going to show you here how teachers use Glogs in the classroom as well. And again, if you bear with me for a second, I will hopefully be able to bring up that information here as well. Here is a teacher's wiki. This particular wiki belongs to Tracy Blazowski, one of our first Glogster ambassadors. And as you can see here, she has utilized it in a classroom setting to provide information to students, to classrooms, to her classroom itself, and also to the home, to parents. Again, she has utilized different interactive tools. In this particular Glog, Tracy has provided valuable information not only to her students but also to her parents. If you were to click on this area here, you would get her schedule for her first grade. Obviously, she has a link to her email address, some information about the nuts and bolts of first grade. Click here, you'll learn more about lunch and recess, folders, and other opportunities for the kids. A click on this particular link here will show the weekly news and homework assignments for that particular week. So as you can see, this teacher, Tracy, who utilizes Glogster regularly, has provided lots and lots of resources for her students, for her parents to know what's going on in the classroom, and can send this information home with the students in the form of a link to her wiki site, and allows her parents to certainly become involved with what's going on in the classroom. I'm going to go to another site here, which hopefully will provide more helpful information to you. This is another Glog created by Tracy Blazowski, and this is a particular a Glog with a lesson plan in mind. Here she is helping her students understand caterpillars and how caterpillars are part of their environment. Here again, she's embedded this in her wiki, and she is giving the students an assignment on the Hungry Caterpillar project. And again, on each of these Glogs that she's created, you have the opportunity to click on various segments of the Glog to see the interactive nature. In this instance, she has provided her students' Glogs as part of her interactive teaching Glog. Again, showing some of the activities that are available in the classroom and how she uses Glogster to utilize the resources that she has available. So another example of how Glogster is used in the classroom, and how it can be an interactive environment for students to use the tools that are available to them. All right, back to my slides. Again, sorry for the technical issues. One of the largest initiatives for us at Glogster is to create a complete toolbox of resources for all teachers to use directly from our website. As many of you are aware, we have recently teamed with TinyPic for pictures, SchoolTube for videos, Animoto for slideshows, in an effort to provide safe partners for all of our glog creation activities. Additionally, we're working on partnerships with other Web 2.0 platforms in the education space. And without providing specific names prior to our confirmed partnership announcement, it is safe to say that we are endeavoring to establish one-click relationships with voice and audio tools, animated avatars, Wiki companies, graphic tools, primary source document providers, and other critical partners whose products will supplement what is already available from Glogster. It's important for us to provide educators with a complete toolbox of creative products and services. We are making these partnerships with privacy and safety of our students in mind. In addition, Glogster is being utilized to meet school, district, and state requirements for attaining the knowledge and skills required. Glogs are providing multi-sensory elements to student portfolios. They are being used to create powerful differentiated instructional activities and for providing students with diverse learning styles the opportunity to show what they know using text, graphics, pictures, audio-visual, and other diverse modalities. Additionally, educators are using glogs to demonstrate knowledge through traditional and non-traditional assessments. In Pennsylvania, for example, teachers are using glogs for students to demonstrate performance in state-mandated graduation requirement activities. In Ohio, teachers are using glogs to demonstrate proficiency in science strands and knowledge and skill requirement areas. Teachers can register up to 200 students in each of their online classroom accounts. We offer quick turnaround on new initiatives and projects and are always ready to listen to suggestions offered by the educational community. This is a slide showing Command Central for teachers to view and monitor their activities. Again, our hope and our new web domain is provided so that the teacher can have a virtual environment with her students or his students in a safe and creative environment. Again, this is Command Central. It shows you all of the teacher activities and all of the student activities within one site. As you can see, teachers from all over the world are utilizing Glogster, are understanding its capabilities, and it's difficult to find a single educator that doesn't love what Glogster offers to them and to their students. Again, on the student side, there are many creative ways that students utilize the Glogster capabilities to respond to classroom assignments and to meet the needs of today's educational world. For the most part, students have an opportunity to have a fun, expressive, individual, creative, and skill environment in a safe and secure way. Through the interactive platform, Glogs allows students to explore topics that they might have been less interested in, provides multi-sensory activities, encourages collaboration with other students, and are always available if you want to edit or update them. All these attributes can facilitate better and more productive learning relationships than text-based instruction could ever provide. You can see here some of the comments that we get daily from the students who use Glogster. Here are some additional examples of student glogs in a variety of formats, science area. These two here, and certainly in the area of social studies or history, and certainly there are many, many ways in the music environment, in the art environment, etc., for students to create glogs. We also have some things in mind for future enhancement for Glogster. I mentioned all of the powerful tools that we hope to offer on our website. We also want to, at some point in the near future, create a learning environment, a virtual learning environment, so that teachers can collaborate with other teachers, with students in their classroom, and with other schools throughout the world. We are working on many new initiatives, and we will have some additional iterations of Glogster for all of you to be able to utilize. And we certainly value your opinions in making that all happen. We at Glogster really want to play a key role in creating virtual learning environments throughout the world to provide the vehicle to make learning lifelong, enduring, and accessible both inside and outside the confines of the classroom. Part of Glogster is in its true infancy stages, and once we become more accepting of our global educational landscape and less fearful of the occasional hurdle, the more powerful this learning network, which Glogster will help to create, will become.
Jim, we're running out of time, and I wanted to ask you some of the questions that people have posted in the chat.
Sure.
One of the questions has to do with some of the intellectual property rights and the copyright issue dealing with the commercial music.
Mm-hmm.
How is Glogster addressing that, or are they?
We are. It's in our terms of use agreement that we ask every teacher that utilizes Glogster to understand. Certainly, it's important that everyone utilizes and understands the copyright issues that are available and need to be addressed. And we try to address that in our terms of use. And also, we are trying to update that and provide more of an interactive nature with regards to, I know there's a site called Creative Commons, which deals with copyright issues, and we are certainly working to make that all more user-friendly and certainly not violate copyright laws at the same time.
Okay. And somebody else is asking if what applications can embed in Glog?
What applications? You mean audio, video, those types of applications?
I just wrote what applications can embed Glog, so I'm not certain what the person meant. I'm assuming, I'm thinking they meant can the Glogs be embedded into?
Yes, we actually have tutorials. There are some tutorials in the links at the end of the session that I suggest that you also check in on. Those links will provide you with some tutorials on how to embed blogs into wikis, into blogs, and etc. So that we do provide some avenues for that to occur, and we will continue to update our tutorials so that that process becomes easier. Really, our goal is to have one-click access to blogs and to wikis, and we are endeavoring to partner with many of those people in that space to make that more user-friendly from our site.
Okay, great. That sounds awesome, the one-click access. Is the education version available to UK schools? Yes,
it is. We have quite a large variety of users from around the world, from the UK, from Australia, from Brazil, from all over the world. So yes, it is available, and certainly it's edu.glogster.com. Very easy to sign up for a teacher account and very easy to use.
Great, okay. And the youngest age that Glogster was used with students to create blogs?
Well, the terms of use say 13 years old, which is certainly part of the mandated requirements. However, the teacher with younger students, as you saw with Tracy Blazowski, who uses it in her first grade class, it's the responsibility of the teacher to control that environment. So then the teacher assumes the responsibility for the safe environment for their classroom. And that's all spelled out in our terms of use. But we have students using it from the first grade level to certainly the college level as well.
Okay, and does it work well in all browsers?
Yes, I've seen it work very well in all instances.
Okay, and will it remain free, or will there be, limited access and more features in a paid version?
The answer to that is we are definitely thinking about other features, other versions, and certainly depending on the level and type of partnerships that we create, we are looking to have some real slick and easier to use methods. So we are thinking about possibilities of charging for premium Glogster services in the future, but we have yet to establish those ideas yet.
Okay, and how do you register student accounts, and can they be personalized with your own usernames?
It's very easy to do. Actually, we have instructions right on our website on how to do that. Again, some tutorials to follow, very easy instructions. It's pretty simple to do. You just go to create your account, and you can do that in a number of really quick and easy steps.
Okay, and I believe I saw the limit of student accounts was 200?
That's correct.
Okay, great. And if people have further accounts, passwords, can the passwords be personalized?
We are working on a lot of new changes that we should be ready to release by this upcoming school year. There are some classrooms or some schools in the country that utilize Glogster in every one of the classrooms, and teachers seem to be concerned about students not remembering passwords. Funny thing about that. So the goal is to try to create a more teacher-controlled environment for passwords. So if a student is using Glogster in history, science, math, and art, that they may have one single password to get into their Glogs that can be controlled in that particular school. So it's, again, suggestions that we've been getting from our users, and we certainly want to be able to meet the needs of the users.
Okay. One last question is, will if you already have a regular account, can that be easily transferred into an educational account, or would you need to sign up a separate account?
Well, our concern, Kim, is that one of our big initiatives here has been to create the education environment. Certainly Glogster EDU sprung out of Glogster, but they're totally different animals. The Glogster environment is free, open, and public, whereas the Glogster EDU environment is controlled and private. And I would suggest that if blocking or other issues are concerned with teachers, that they utilize the EDU site and perhaps set up a new account within the EDU environment, so it's safe and secure for them. Okay.
Great. And Jim, if you would put your email in the chat in case people have further questions.
I'll bring that up here in a second.
That'd be great, because we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. And we're so grateful that you came and that you had spent time with us today, you and Andrew. And if you have a few minutes, we can, continue this after the formal closing of the show. And we understand if people have to go, but this was great, and people are really excited about Glogster, and we just love it. We use Glogster all the time, and a lot of our graphics, and just about every week we use Glogster to create our graphics on our live website, and so we're just really excited to have you on our show. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thanks so much as well. Again, I'm sorry for the few technical glitches. I hope you all were able to get the information that you needed, and I'll be happy to stay on for additional questions.
Great, definitely. Don't worry about the technical difficulties. We have them quite frequently ourselves, so not a problem. I also want to share with everybody about the Future of Education, another new community that Steve Hargadon has started. And next week on July the 16th, Thursday, at 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern, Steve will be hosting another interview with the authors of Liberating Learning, Technology, Politics, and the Future of American Education. And coming up soon, Steve will be hosting interviews with John Seeley Brown, David Thornburg, Clay Shirky, and Douglas Rushkoff, as well as there'll be sessions on School 2.0, Homeschool 2.0, and student-generated e-portfolios in the EU Classroom Collaboration Program E20, and those will be exciting interviews that will be coming up. So stay tuned for more details and specific dates and times. And next week, our own, on July 18th, Tammy Moore will be showing us how to create interactive content in Illuminate, and this will be fantastic for those who have been in our sessions, as well as those who are interested in hosting sessions in Illuminate for Learn Central and hosting them on your own sessions and training sessions and so forth. She does fantastic stuff other than the closed captioning features. So whether you are just a participant or whether you will be hosting your own sessions in Illuminate or in other different online learning platforms, you'll definitely want to join us because she does fantastic, really creative, interactive learning things, and you can use these on the whiteboard as well as just or in specific e-learning platforms. It's really fantastic, and you won't want to miss that. We also have our Classroom 2.0 Live BIGO group, so you're going to want to make sure that you join that group if you haven't already. Just a reminder to do that so you can share links with us as well as receive the links and information from us. And I'm going to go ahead and get the survey link, and we hope that you'll take just a few minutes to complete the survey to let us know things that you're interested in, how you thought today went, as well as illuminate some information on the platform in here. I'm going to go ahead and post that link on the whiteboard as well as in the chat here so that you can access the link from the chat, from the live session, or the recording. And please give us feedback and let us know some topics that you're interested in. We are so gracious, and I apologize for mispronouncing your name earlier. Jim Dachos has joined us today, and his colleague Andrew from Glogster, and Steve Hargadon, who is our founder of Classroom2.0.com and thefutureofeducation.com. Thank you so much to everybody who participated today and asked questions, and made comments, and so forth. And, of course, to Illuminate for providing this forum. And if you would like to ask a question of Jim or Andrew, please click on the little hand with the green arrow, and we'll give you the microphone. Or you can type your question in the chat, and Jim or Andrew can field the question and answer it or respond or share a link to your question. Or if there's anything else that Jim would like to share that we didn't get to share during the regular session, I'm going to try and go back to where we left off.
No, I've pretty much gotten to everything I needed to.
Great, great. Andrew?
Be happy to take any questions, however.
Andrew, you have my capabilities if you would like to share with us. And Mary, you have the mic. Mary, if you would like to ask a question, you have the mic. If you would like to go ahead and speak, just click on the mic when you're ready.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I sure can.
I was trying to do the student accounts, and when I log on to my account, as an educator, I can see my account, but I can't see how I get 200 student user accounts. And every time I click on the link, it just throws me to my profile. I don't see where I can change that.
Have you contacted Glogster and got your account set up?
Well, yeah, my account is set up already. It changed it over to EDU. Do you have to contact them, email them separately?
Yes, you should do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Does anybody else have a question? Or Andrew, would you like to share or add to what Jim has shared today?
Sure. Can folks hear me now?
We sure can.
Okay. I was just going to say that, one of the taglines that you saw in there is Glogster is yours. And we mean it. We take it very seriously. And that tagline really means that, we want the product, we want teachers and folks that are using the product to be very actively involved in how the product develops far into the future. So we have forums, we have, programs like we're doing today, and a variety of other speaking engagements, and we're surveying our audience on a continuous basis. We really take it very, very seriously in terms of the product. So we're getting a lot of feedback, and we're trying to incorporate as much of that feedback as we can into the product. And so we have obviously a long list, and we continue to get a lot of folks that are sending those things to us. We're trying to prioritize that stuff. And one of the biggest priorities, of course, as Jim mentioned several times, is to separate the two businesses. So edu.glogster.com, if you type it into your browser, it will go to our edu page right now. There will be instructions, and I'll know in the coming days, we will know in the coming days, a more specific date as to when technology folks will be able to separate those two businesses and unblock the EDU side and block Glogster.com. So Jim and I should know within days as to what the date will be on that. And it'll be very clear step-by-step instructions for technology folks within schools or districts or towns or whatever it might be that want to take advantage of separating the technology. So I just wanted to say that in summary. If anyone has questions, my email address is similar to Jim's. It's andrew.connolly, and I can, if the moderators can pass that information on, andrew.connolly@glogster.com. We also have a phone number. It's 888-GLOGS for you. So it's a vanity number. It's GLOGS, the number 4, and the letter U. So 888-GLOGS for you is a number that can ring in, and you can talk to myself, or I can pass folks along to the right people. So just wanted to make sure people kind of understood that Glogster is yours, and that we're very reachable, and we very, very much appreciate everyone's time today.
Great. Thank you so much, Andrew. Does anybody else have a question that they would like to ask? You can type your question in the chat, or you can let us know and click on the hand with the green arrow, and then we can give you the capability to use the microphone and ask your question via your computer microphone. Tammy's asking a question about embedding into Moodle. Tammy, you have the microphone if you wanted to ask your question about embedding in Moodle.
I may already have the answer. One of the other participants in here said that they've embedded into the PB Wiki. The main thing I was wondering about, it's so visual, which really can make it nice on a main course page for a Moodle. So my concern was that it would fit in the 3-column version. So I was wanting just to be sure that it could resize to the amount of space that's given at the target site.
Andrew, you want to take that question? I'm not sure that I know I know it can be resized. I'm not sure how it's done.
Yeah, sure. Can folks can hear me again? It's I just want to make sure I'm doing this right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So the any site that will accept HTML code for embedding media, a glog can be embedded. And when you look at the code, so you can take the code from a glog and you can paste it into wikis. And if Moodle, I apologize, I believe Moodle has the capability to accept code, so you can take the code and embed it. Within the code, there is a size, so you'll see 1300x by 960, and you can actually go into the code and change that size. So that particular size fits really well with wikis, and that's why when you take the code and move it, it shows up very cleanly. But if there is a site, any site that accepts HTML code, when you look at our site and you move it over and paste it, you can change the size right in the code. So if anyone, takes a glog and moves it over somewhere and it's too big, you can go into the code and resize, and then if you have trouble doing that, just give us a ring and we'll help you out.
Great, thank you. Carlos, did you have a question that you wanted to ask?
I've been trying to...
Go ahead, we can hear you, Carlos.
I've been trying to set my profile, and I want to know if I need to do the student accounts right now or do right it after.
I'm sorry, there was a bit of background noise. Can you ask your question again?
Yeah, I couldn't hear the question.
I've tried to set my profile, and I would like to know if I can set the student account right after I've done all these. But I need to do it straight away.
Again, I was having trouble hearing the question. Can you type your question? That's a good idea.
Yeah, I do that. That's better.
Mary, if you have a question, you have the microphone, you can ask your question.
Okay, my question is still about the student account. When I try to email it under my account that I have set up for education, it won't let me, it shows that I've already used that name, so I can't email them to set up your 200 users. So should I have done that when I first set up the account, which I didn't know about at that time?
I can answer that. When you are supposed to submit the number of students when you first register, but if you did not, then I think the best suggestion would be to email me and give me your own ID and password and let me know how many students you want. And I will go back to our folks and we'll set it up. So when you first register, you enter that amount in, and then we email you the IDs and passwords of the number of students that you gave us. So if you gave us 10 student accounts, then you would get an email from us. If you did not get that incoming email with the IDs and passwords, then perhaps it wasn't done in the original registration and we can take care of it.
So would you suggest that they just go ahead and select that they need 200 students when they first sign up?
Yeah, you can do that. Well, I guess the downside of that would be, you're going to get 200 IDs and passwords right off the bat. It would, I believe that you probably should do a little bit north of the number of actual students. Let's say you have 25 students, maybe you do 30 or 40. Ask for 30 or 40 students, we'll get them to you right away. If you need more, it really should not be an issue for you to get more from us. And I've heard on some occasions where there's been technical difficulties or those type of things, or communication difficulties, but you should be able to, once you've set up an account, very easily come back to us and add more accounts.
Okay, Carlos was asking, does he need to set the students' accounts at the moment of creating his profile?
I'm sorry, I didn't. Did he type in his question? I'll look at it now.
Oh no, he just did it to moderators, so I'll copy it.
Okay.
That was his question about needing to set the student accounts at the moment of creating the profile.
Yes.
Yep.
The answer to that is yes. Yes, we need to know how many students so we can create passwords for each of the students when he's creating his account.
Yeah, the registration page has a clear indicator on it, drop down that asks for the number of students.
Mary, did you have a follow-up question, Mary?
I was just asking for the email address for that. I didn't know if it was posted.
Andrew, can you type your email address in the chat?
Yes, I'll do that now. And that way I'll make sure it's taken care of.
Oops, sorry, didn't realize my mic was on. My question was, since we set up specific accounts for students, how does it work whenever you have the next year's students come in? Do you just rotate the same number of students? Do you just move the passwords? And I was just curious, how do you move from year to year?
Yes, good question. You can do it either of the two ways you suggested, whatever is easier for you.
Any other questions that I might have missed during the session, or that you might still need to Okay, I'll get the survey link. That's the link to the survey. And Peggy, you had a couple questions about how can you Glogster in an email like Animoto did?
I'm not sure what Animoto did.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand that question either. In terms of the student accounts carrying forward, you can make a request to change your accounts to new students, or you can keep them the same and carry them forward.
Okay, are there any further questions from anybody before Jim or Andrew leave? Can parents use the tool too?
Certainly. We have a lot of parents using the tool. We also have a lot of home educators, homeschool folks using the tool. I saw the Animoto link, and you can certainly, anyone could recreate a glog in a similar fashion to that if you wanted to. Yes, I think if that's the answer to that question. You know, we have a lot of folks who use blogs themselves as a personal newsletter or communication device. That's no problem, as long as you share the link to the blog in Twitter or an email or any other fashion. You can link over to that blog, and the contents of that blog can be just about anything you want. Newsletters, we've seen them to promote particular events. We've seen them to promote contests. We've seen them in a variety of different ways.
Anybody else have any other questions?
Go ahead, Tammy.
I could see definitely that the blogs that are created in the public site will probably be embeddable anywhere. Just wanted to double check that when the students make their Glogsters in the more secured site at EDU, I was just making sure that could those still be embedded in sites outside of the EDU site, or will they be blocked because of that more secure setting?
No, it's the teachers. The teachers is in the control module to determine what gets released and what is secure. You can see that most of the glogs I used in this presentation were actually from our Glogster site, because there are certainly hundreds of thousands of them out on our site. The teacher then determines on the education side whether to release the glogs created by their students or not, and they certainly do that, as you saw from Tracy Blazowski sent her blogs home to her parents, and yes, the short answer is yes, teachers can release them to the public environment.
On the main site, there is a public button and a private button. You'll see those buttons in the education side, but the public one does not work. It's the blog will be created in a private. It can only be created privately, and the only way to share it is a link to the blog. And once you do that, then it's out to the people that have that link.
Mary, did you want to ask a question?
Yes, if you have a blog, and like you have about 5 different blog pages set up, if you send out the link to that one blog page, can they access all of your other blog pages? Will those become public?
No, you determine which blogs you want released. You create the link for that specific blog.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody, and thank you, Jim and Andrew, for staying over and answering questions for us. We appreciate your time, and join us next week with Tammy for interactive content in Illuminate, and you can use them in any e-learning platform, and I'm sure on interactive whiteboards as well. So thank you for staying with us, and we'll see you next week at the same time. Thank you, Jim and Andrew, and everybody for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim.